are providing only 20% video as a part of promotion. For remaining 80%, that is 6 to 8 articles, current affairs video and general studies complete videos, please subscribe to our complete package. 1. What might be the benefits to India as the sanctions lifted? Why India is silent on lifting of sanctions against Iran. GS Paper 2, International Relations, India and Iran Ties. What might be the benefits to India as the sanctions lifted? The lifting of the sanctions on Iran will benefit India with lower oil prices and more opportunities for trade. It should also bring the proposed India-Iran gas pipeline closer to reality, as Iran will gradually ramp up production by 0.5 million barrels per day over the next 6 months. There will be a further softening of global crude prices. The lifting of sanctions also removes an important hurdle, that is US pressure to hold off on the deal in the proposed Indo-Iran gas pipeline. One of the major construction projects in Iran that India has taken an interest in is the development of the Chabahar port. Now Indian companies will be able to get contracts for this project. It will be much easier to export to Iran. India has been importing oil from them despite the sanctions through a rupee payment agreement. India can also start taking up construction projects there. Our project companies can go back to doing that. Iran will also be looking for our technical skills. With the removal of sanctions, we won't have difficulties in reaching our payment dues. As a result, we can go ahead and sign commercial deals with Iran since payment is no longer an issue. Why India is silent on lifting of sanctions against Iran. Israel and Iran are arch rivals. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj is on Israel visit now. She was also welcomed in a public event featuring Israeli and Indian entrepreneurs and supporters. India is aware that the Israelis have not been in favor of the nuclear deal. Moreover, the lifting of sanctions was on expected lines and therefore India was prepared to balance the outreach to Israel with the Iranian development. It is a fact that India is in a position to be a central political player in the West Asian, Middle Eastern neighborhood as it enjoys good relations with all the major players in the region. 2. Need to change Whistleblowers Act to protect witnesses, CVC. GS Paper 2, Government Policies and Schemes, Bills and Amendments. What changes did Central Vigilance Commission refer with respect to Whistleblowers Act? There is a need to bring some provisions in Whistleblowers Act to protect witnesses that would provide confidence to those who expose corruption. Need to make the public aware on the procedure to file complaints under Public Interest Disclosure and Protection of Informer, PIDPI, widely known as Whistleblower Resolution. There is a need to apply some filters as to who needs protection under the PIDPI or Whistleblowers Act. Not anybody and everybody who files petition should get it. Witnesses may have to face consequences whether it is a criminal case or civil, so they must be protected. There is a need to bring some provisions in our Whistleblowers Act which would have an overriding effect on the Evidence Act. Some mechanism. Unless we bring in, it may be difficult to give confidence to whistleblowers or witnesses. In the private sector also, there is a huge amount of whistleblowing which needs to be answered, the CVC said. Background. The Parliament of India approved the Whistleblowers Protection Bill 2014 to set up a mechanism to encourage persons for disclosure of information on corruption or willful misuse of power by public servants. The bill also seeks to provide punishment for false or frivolous complaints. The Rajya Sabha gave its nod to the bill without any amendment after keeping it pending for more than 2 years. The Lok Sabha had passed the bill in 2011. The objectives of Whistleblowers Protection Bill 2014: to provide and protect mechanism, methodologies to encourage the person for reporting any such corruption activities or any misuse of power by a bureaucrats or government officer. Will provide an adequate protection to persons reporting corruption or willful misuse of discretion, which causes demonstrable loss to the government or commission of a criminal offence by a public servant. Sets the procedure to inquire into the disclosures and provides adequate safeguards against victimization of the whistleblower. It will also seek to provide punishment for false or frivolous complaints.